See the red dot? And it's recording. So, all right. Welcome everyone to the first in our series of list building and going on from that. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right in so that we're not, I'm going to try not to go too much over 30 minutes, but no promises on that. So list building one-on-one, and bottom line, this is basically a tool. And you might have seen this tool before, and if you were on Dreamcatchers, you got to catch like 5 minutes of it that we got to do. But again, bottom line, this is a tool because really you have everything that you need. And if you don't have it, your business coach does have it. You've got it through your mentorship. But if you're at any kind of stumbling block, it's either a skill set that you need to develop or a mindset that you need to shift. And you have that from your leadership. But often we just make things more difficult than they need to be because, and it's good that we're all women here that you can understand this, often we use a shoe to hammer in a nail, or we use a knife to pry something open. So we're just using the wrong tools, or we just don't have the right tool, or we don't know what to do. So this is just a tool that we have in our arsenal that Optavia provides for us. So with that, anytime I talk about making a list or thinking about candidates or clients, I like to start out with saying, where do clients come from, right? So we look at people that have a lot of clients, and we might be struggling that. We're like, where in the world do these clients come from? So first of all, we want to consider that there are candidate options, right? So really it's where do candidates come from? So there's two candidate options, a client candidate and a coach candidate. And we really can't say as coaches that we're going to work on getting a lot of clients and then we'll think about, or maybe we'll start getting coaches, because that's not what our role is. When we signed on to become a coach, our role, we have two roles: to acquire and support clients and acquire and support coaches. So if we're going to honor what we signed our contract to do, we offer that coaching opportunity to everybody. I didn't do that. So my hand is raised that I did not do that properly, but I'm here to show you how we are supposed to be doing that. But often that will overlap, but there are two different candidate lists as we think about that. So clients, you guys all know this, but it's just a review, often come to us for weight loss or any kind of health concern that weight loss will, or proper nutrition will help. And coach candidates normally come to us for finances, large or small, servant's heart, empty nest that need admission, different things like that. And we'll talk more about that. But back to the question of where do candidates come from? Think about this, where did you come from? And if we had more people, we could ask everyone where each of us come from. So just a quick show of hands, and I think we all probably came as clients first. Did anyone not come as a client? Okay, we all did. So who came as a referral?
Would you count me as a referral?
I would, yeah. Anyone who came, yeah, as a referral, yeah. Well, actually, Kathy, you and I both I got a double thing later. Who came through a Facebook post? Okay. This is important, guys. None of us came through a Facebook post. But where do we spend most of our time trying to get clients? Guys, who saw a friend and said, I want what you have? Yeah, so it's kind of like the same thing as a referral. So referrals and seeing friends. And then who came any other way? So again, I think if we had a larger group, we might hear some other ways. But we spend most of our time, now I have gotten a couple clients. So who has gotten clients by Facebook posts? I've got a couple, right? But we're coaches, and as coaches, none of us came on through Facebook posts. So we are getting some clients that way, but it's interesting that none of us came on board through a Facebook post, yet we spend the majority of our time doing Facebook posts. I'm not saying not to do them, I'm just saying that's an interesting observation. So in building our list, both for our Facebook campaign and other ways to do it, we want to explore who we know, and actually you'll be surprised once we get out of our immediate sphere of influence. You can absolutely rely on your immediate sphere of influence to introduce you to more people. and we'll talk about how to do that next week in the next series. Welcome, Jackie. So we've gone over Facebook, the Facebook campaign laboriously, but you should absolutely be doing at a minimum 3 by 3 by 3. And the most important part of that is not your posts. The most important part of that is 3 conversations and 3 new friendships a day. And recently we've upped the level of that to 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, as we've learned that stories have taken place of your posts as the most important part of that. But really the most important part that's going to move your business forward is your 10 conversations, and then of course new friendships. That's the thing to do that. And I'm going to do a little caveat here, is that if you're just doing either the 3 by 3 by 3 or the 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 as just a checklist, like did that, done for the day, then you're really like without really putting your heart into it and trying to nurture relationships. And I'm not saying anyone's doing, I'm just saying because you guys will be training coaches and you want to make sure that your heart goes into that. Because if you're just doing this as a checklist to say, did that, then you're like a daycare worker who is just waiting for it to be 6 o'clock so she can get out and get her paycheck, and she's changing diapers and putting bottles in mouths of other women's babies, instead of being the mama who's rocking that baby and feeding that baby, snuggling with that baby, and putting the mirror into that baby's nose to make sure it's still breathing every night. So if you're just checking that box without nurturing those relationships, then you're that daycare worker instead of that mama. And we all want to be that mama, and we're pouring our hearts into those people, because it doesn't, eventually we're going to be getting out of what we put in, but it doesn't matter if all those people don't become clients. What matters is that we're decent human beings and we're feeding into people, because eventually they're going to need something, or somebody they know is going to need something, and they're going to remember how we made them feel. So we don't want to always go into it with expecting something right back, but we want to be the mama, not the daycare worker. But let's go deeper than just our Facebook campaign, because as we were just talking about, and as you realized, they're looking at your Facebook friends. Some of them don't post anything. You can go on their page and you want to like or comment on something, and there's nothing. Like you can see people have posted to their page, but they don't go on to their page. So there's nothing to like or comment on. And you know that if you send them a message, they're not going to look at it. So there's no relationship to be built there. Or they haven't posted for 1.5 years. So you've got to do something outside of Facebook for them. Or you've got friends that aren't even on Facebook. So we need to get social in real time with some real people. So let's do both, Facebook and real life, both and. So Facebook and real life. So to really fill your funnel with candidates, and if you hear this term, fill the funnel, and you don't, like, you hear it, you're like, well, what the heck is that all about? Think about what a funnel looks like. So it's big at the top, and it comes down and it's narrow. And now you want to fill it, so say you're filling it with 100 people, and you realize only a few are going to come out. It's because you don't know who those few are. But still, if you have 100, think about them as being really good friends, like say your best high school friends. They're all filled up with 100 friends, so that's great to have that many friends, but they're not all going to be like your best friends. Like I used to work at Pennzoil, and I worked with like 50 really, really great people, and I liked them all. Some of us still get together, but there's 3 of us that had such a good bond that now 28 years later, we still get together once a year. But I still like the rest of them, but 3 of them still made a great bond. But that's how you want to nurture those, and a few are going to come out and be really great people. And then a few are going to be like your dream team. Got 3 of them right here on this that are part of my frontline senior coaches, but you don't know. And when we talk about, wait a minute, I haven't gotten there yet to my other part. I'll talk about it in a minute. So when you talk about filling your funnel with these candidates, consider these concentric circles. So your most little circle, closest circle, is your family, friends, and coworkers. So those are the people that you know you probably can rely on, and they're either going to see you and support you or help you out with people that you know. You probably already tapped into all of them. Then your next one out, so there might be a little bit more of these people, but you don't know them quite as well, or they live farther, and that's going to be acquaintances in your social media. So most of us have stopped there, right? So we've stopped at our family, friends, and coworkers and our acquaintances in social media. But there's so much more when we go past that. So we go a little bit farther out, and there's our local community, our neighborhood, our clubs, our networking groups, our church, wherever, just anything out in the local community or clubs or networking groups. And we go a little bit further, and we've got, if you go to any trade shows or club events like that. Now, when you talk about events, think about things like if you go to any home parties that people have, or if you host home parties, or like we've got something coming up. It's like, to me, it's like a trifecta. There's a lady that makes wreaths, and they're complicated, and it costs a lot of money just for the materials to do it. And they're not fun to do by yourself, but she does home parties where people come. She has all the supplies for you, and you go around and do them. And my neighbor had one last year, and I went. So I met the lady that does them. I made some friends there. One became a client, and I got a lot of people on my phone. And the guy, so my Houstonians here know Mattress Mac. He has a place at Gallery Furniture on this side of town. He opens up a portion of the store for the Brookwood community, which, so the sisters don't know, but that's the place here in this side of town, which is why we moved to the other side of town, where my son goes the day work program, where he's gonna live when we die. So I've got a real heart for that. So two things, but she's doing a wreath making party there. So part of the proceeds go to the Brookwood community, which I'm involved in with my son. I get to come home with a wreath or a garland, and it's at Mattress Mac, who supports the Astros. And he let people come and stay on his furniture when the city was flooded. I mean, he's like, this is the most exciting event. And I'm really only going, I'm paying $70 to make a wreath because I'm gonna meet people there. I'm not gonna go in and say, hey, I'm a health coach, I can help you lose weight. I'm gonna go in and say, hey, I'm an awesome person. Do you need help with that? Because I'm really, really crafty. So at each step, I'm gonna be the first one that's done. And I'm gonna tell Alicia, the lady that makes them, hey, do you need some help? Do you want me to help this person? And I'm gonna get known. And I'm gonna be there with my phone and meet some new friends. So any events like that you can go to and be involved in and go with the purpose of meeting people and making friends on Facebook. You don't have to tell them you're a health coach. You're gonna be friends on Facebook, and they're gonna know it as soon as, if you have a good Facebook page and as soon as they get on. So be involved in any events like that. And just don't sit there and be a wallflower, you know. In a minute, you'll find out why it's really strange. Anyone that knew me up through like my junior year of high school, that I was a wallflower. Honestly, I was. But go to those, and then even farther out, it's just meeting people out and about. And I was hoping Jeremy, he's at a football game with his son, but Jeremy does this excellently. He shared some stories, and the sisters have probably heard this through the years. They've been with, around him more than we have, but stories he's told, like being in the grocery store recently, and this man and woman were married, obviously, and kind of having a debate about whether this vegetable was a zucchini or a squash, a cucumber. And I understand it because I get confused about those two vegetables as well. And they're having this debate, and he says, oh, that's a cucumber. I have a great recipe for a cucumber salad. And they're like, oh, we really need that. And he's like, yeah, I got these kids with me, but here, friend me on Facebook, and when I get home, I'll send it to you. So like hands him his phone so they can find themselves on Facebook. And then he gets home and sends them the recipe, and then they're friends on Facebook. So they see his page, and they're conversing and becoming friends, and they can't help but see what he does, because he's got this great cucumber recipe. And then another time, I don't know how close the sisters are to where he lives, but I guess there's some ice cream that you guys have up there that's comparable to our Bluebell. That's our national ice cream here in Texas. And he's in the store. I think he conveniently has his kids with him all the time, so that they're his good excuse to run. Or maybe he had to get home or something, but these people, this ice cream was on sale. And someone's looking at it, and he's like, oh man, 70 pounds ago, I'd have been all over this sale and be buying this ice cream. They're like, 70 pounds? He's like, oh yeah. And so I want to hear about it. And he's like, oh, I gotta go, but here, send me on Facebook, and I'll tell you all about it when I get home. But things like that, just meeting people, but you always want to get them on Facebook. and then you meet them. Same thing like on a donut Sunday at church, and the lady says to her kids, "Oh, mommy can't have donuts. I'm on a diet." And he's like, "Yeah, I remember when I used to have to diet. That was awful. I'm so glad I don't have to do that anymore." She's like, "Oh, I need to hear about that." And he's like, "Oh yeah, I got all these kids with me. Here, friend me on Facebook. I'll tell you about it later." So when we meet people out and about, and then we make those friends like that. But you're not being spammy. You're not saying, "I'm a health coach. I can help you out," but just being real and being helpful for people. So, but those are those concentric circles of how you can meet more and more people and not just be, tied to just those people that you already know. But so I'm getting close to the tool. Honestly I am. But it's just a memory jogger, and I keep forgetting this word, this free association exercise. So when adding people to your list, either to your Facebook friends list or just introducing yourself to new people, I've got two things I want you to think about. That everyone in your life, now the sisters might argue, and we might all think about, just because you're sisters, our mom might be the first person that comes to mind, but everyone in your life, including your best friend, your spouse, and all of us here, not the sisters, but us with you, we were all strangers at one time. So at one time, Mary Kay, I didn't know you. One time, Jerry, I didn't know you. Kathy, I can't even believe it, but there was a time when I didn't know you. Same with Jackie and Mary Kay, and with both the sisters. I remember meeting you guys together at the Dallas convention. You were the sisters I've been hearing about, but we all, at one time we were all strangers. So when you walk into a room or an event or something, the park or whatever, one of those strangers might end up being your best friend. They might end up being a good client. They might end up being a referral source, because we all were clients. And all of us, when we met each other, didn't know we were going to be on this Zoom tonight. God did. He knew what he had. He knew that beautiful tapestry. We just saw the strings, But that might happen. We just don't know. And then another thing to think about is whether it was you personally, or maybe your child attending a party or a new school where they didn't know anyone. Think about what advice you would give, or how you would have written a script for them, if you could have, to make friends and become comfortable. Because I think that's the thing where sometimes, and you probably all know Mel Robbins, if you don't, just YouTube her with her 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't remember which order she does it, where you just go out and say something or do something when you talk yourself out of it. But we're writing that story now about how we got over a fear, or how we introduced ourselves to something. But we're writing that story, and it's just not about us. It's about that other person and about what we can do for them. But it's about hope and health and help for those around us. Now, and this is what I said I was going to share. I was painfully shy and insecure as a child. And we moved, I wrote several, I think it was just a couple times. But I did not make friends well at all. And even I think as an adult, my first job outside of the corporate world was selling Longaberger baskets. And when I first did that, at my first couple shows, I couldn't stand and talk to people. And these people were my friends, and I couldn't stand and talk in front of them. I sat on the floor and surrounded myself with my comfortable baskets. I was painfully shy. But we need to get over ourselves and introduce ourselves to other people, and not feel like we're pushing ourselves on them or pushing a program on them, because we could change people's lives. Because think about where you were. Think about what this program has done for you. Think about what coaching has done for you. Or if you're not there yet, think about what coaching can do for you. Because think of the lineage we have, from you to your business coach or mentor, all the way up through JC and other presidentials, or whatever you want, but just think of what is there. So remember, we just got so much to offer. And if we're holding ourselves back, then we're holding this gift back from someone else. Remember Ray Lloyd, and Jack, I'm not sure if you probably don't know her, but most of you probably do. She's from New York, that New York Jew. But she's so cute. But she said when she was first interested in the program, someone just on, I think it was a text even, or a quick call, just didn't explain the program, just told her how much it cost, but she didn't put value behind it. So Ray said no. And so she said for like just 10 months or a year or something, she said she denied her help because she let her say no because she didn't explain the value to her. So when we just don't get to know someone, don't let them know the value, don't share it with them, we're doing that to them. So here's just a little glimpse. So you don't really need to take notes. There's a worksheet that I'm going to give to you. But I do encourage you to have a piece of paper and just write down as many names as you can think of. And those of you that run Dreamcatchers, it's the same thing. And then we're going to do this for like 5 minutes. And then I'm going to tell you where to find this document. I'm not going to send you the link because I think it's better for you to know where to find things rather than just to give you the link, because you're going to want to, in the future, be able to show your coaches where always to go. So this is basically free association. I'm going to have you just call out some things for you to think about and just write down names that come to your mind. Don't worry about how you're going to contact them, what you're going to say, what you're going to do. Just write down names. Okay. So let's see, here we're going to go. So here's things. So just think about people, whether they're from your address book, social media contacts. This is just supposed to be spontaneous, writing down names, anybody that pops in your head. So let me get to my first page. There we go. Okay. So write down anyone you know that needs to lose. I'm going to do basically the same thing I did Sunday night. 20 pounds, 50 pounds, more than 50 pounds. Anyone that takes blood pressure medication, cholesterol medication, is a diabetic, is borderline diabetic, has overweight children, is a perpetual dieter, has a wedding coming up, has a class reunion coming up, has arthritis or other joint problems, is an athlete, is going on vacation, any friends, relatives, or neighbors. How about wherever you live now or have lived in the last 10 years? People who have moved from where you live now, or people who have moved in, so new neighbors. Anybody from church, if you moved and have a new church, people from your old church, people from your new church. Any coworkers where you work now, or coworkers from your past work. How about people who have invited you to a home party? How about people who do home party businesses? Do you know anyone who does Tupperware? Anyone who does Pampered Chef? Anyone who does a candle business? Anyone who does a jewelry business? Anyone who does cabbie? I encourage you to find someone who does cabbie clothing or any other kind of clothing business. Okay. Write down the person you know who's the friendliest person. Who do you know who's the most helpful person? Who's the most caring person that you know? Who do you know that likes to work with people? Who do you know that likes to travel? Who's the most trustworthy person that you know? Who's the most ambitious person you know? Who's a great encourager? Who do you know that wants to get ahead in life? Who hates their job or their profession? Who starts on posting on Sunday night how much they hate thinking about Monday morning? Who on Tuesday is already posting that they can't wait till Friday? Who on Friday is posting that they thank God it's Friday? Who's hurting financially? Who needs a vacation? Who wants to put their child or children in private school? Who has a kid who's a senior in high school and is needing to put them in college? Who has a kid that wants dance lessons or wants to put them in elite sports or any kind of competition sports? Who has a kid that wants to be in horseback lessons? Who's a new empty nester that may need something to do? Who do you know that lives in Alabama? Who do you know that lives in Connecticut? Who do you know that lives in Georgia? Who do you know that lives in Washington? How about Washington, D.C.? Who do you know that is supporting the Nats? Yes? Oh, you know someone? All right. We do too, Kathy. Wendy Wagner?
That's right.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
nephew just took a job with them. With
Who
the
took a
Wash-
job?
My
Huh?
nephew. My
Oh,
nephew just got a job with the Washington Nationals. And they
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah? Okay, so you know what, there's so many more, so that's 5 minutes, well, it's 4 minutes, so I'm gonna stop because there's so much more. This document has like every state, so you go through every state. You also look at your Christmas list, who you would invite for a wedding, if you've got a child, or if you would be doing an anniversary. Like so many occupations of what people, would be doing. And then different, I didn't even go through all of the different health concerns of what people might do. And when I mentioned health concerns earlier, that's really something to think about, not only for yourself, but for your clients, and ask them, like, who do you know that has talked about acid reflux or bloating? Because if they think of somebody, then encourage them to suggest to them that they talk with you, because if that person gets rid of that health concern and they're eating healthy, that makes it better for your client, because they've got people eating healthy around them, and that's part of their support group. And then they can coach them. So this is just kind of like the intro to doing this exercise. And with this exercise, it has a space to write down, over 100 people, and then separate them into coach and client list, and then pick your top 20. And then next week we can talk about just how we actually approach them, because I'm excited to talk about on a call that I've got with JC and some other leaders, that I've actually never had to approach anyone, because I've either had people come to me, a couple friends in the beginning, like you did, Kathy, and like you did, Jerry. You guys you came to me. Like I came to my first coach because she had lost weight and she was a friend of mine, and then another friend and I just went on and found Donna Rysette. So no one had to call me, but I had referrals, and I've had a couple Facebook clients, but I've never called anyone. So there's a whole slew of people that that we could be calling, and the calling process is really gentle and nice. So don't be concerned about that. But I think we've missed a big boat by mostly relying on Facebook. And we can talk next time about if any of you have gone beyond Facebook and actually approached people. But I know I've not. I can guarantee you I have not approached a single person, because it's kind of scary, isn't it? But when you have the right words and the right mindset about it, it's not. So I'm going to tell you now where you go and how you get this document, and that will be like your homework to do for next week. And again, don't worry about how you're going to call them, just get people's names on the list. And I encourage you to pray over that list, because I just do, and not in a, oh sweet baby Jesus, please help them be, clients or coaches. That's manipulative, but just pray God's will over them. And if this be an answer to their prayer, let those two things come together. So go to Coach Answers, obviously pick US, because there's US or Hong Kong or Singapore. So Coach Answers, and then just search on finding. And when you search on finding, you'll find finding candidate something, but it'll like finding coach or client candidates. And then it'll come up with a document, and just click on handout. And it's like a 4 or 5 page, 6, 7 page document. So there's a little bit of, reading to it, and then just free association exercise. So I encourage you to spend 30 to 60 minutes doing it, and just not think about it. Just do like what I, just read like what it says. Oh, coworkers, people from my clubs, and just fill it in. But I think you'll be amazed at who comes to mind, and then sometimes when you look at it again and you see the name, someone else will come to mind. So, any questions, thoughts, anybody? I kept it to 30. Jamie?
Yay. So, yeah, so we want the handout. That's what
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff there. So we go scroll to the bottom of that and click handout.
Where exactly?
It's on Coach Answers and
It was
on
super
search.
easy to find.
Huh?
It's super easy to
Oh
find.
yeah, it is.
Oh, Coach Answers on what page?
Oh, I'm sorry. In the search for, I'm assuming you knew, I didn't know you were answering. It's coachandrews.optavia.com.
Okay.
Are you looking for it right now or writing it down?
I'm writing it down. Thank
Okay,
you.
good. If you can't find it, let Mary Kay know.
Okay.
But yeah, almost everything we have can be found on Coach Answers. So that's probably anytime you can't find something and you ask your business coach, they're going to say, go to Coach Answers and look for it. So it's always a good, good thing to do. Look on Coach Answers first. So
Okay.
where's the health assessments on Coach Answers? Where's this? It's on Coach Answers. It's really nice that everything is there. And sometimes it takes a little bit of searching to make sure you've got the wording down right. So I'm sorry when I just said Coach Answers, it's just, yeah, but it's
okay. I'll get there.
pretty soon it's going to be like it's automatic. It'll pop up in your search engine because you're going to use it so much. But no, I thought that it was Linda that asked Jackie, so I just kind of flippantly said Coach Answers, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
So anybody else? Okay. Well, congratulations for doing this, especially you Houstonians. Let's get on the game and cheer us on. But all right, guys, thanks so much.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Donna.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you.
God bless you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.